All right, welcome back to the 2021 Tire Rack One Lap of America, presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine. We've got cars going down on to pit road to get staged for our modified morning session. Because of the rain, we're not running the full course here. We're going to be starting off at the timing lights for the drag strip, and then just running about 3/4 of the road course. And it's not going to be 3 laps as normal. They're not going to get a side-in lap. It's just a point-to-point run. And they'll start off, if you see the timing sign for the drag strip, they'll start there and run all the way down to the end of the drag strip onto the back side of the road course and work their way down. You'll see some cones and a checkered flag down at the end, and then they'll actually come and roll back in here to the pits. And that's their run. And looks like we've already got our first cars out. Amanda Hennessy in the HHR. Coming through the twisties. And Amanda is almost going to get caught by the TTRS. And Amanda finishes her run. Followed by, I'm not sure if Brandon's running this morning or if McKay is. And then the Shaky Dog Corvette quickly after. And Andy Hollis in the 720. So just like that, that's the end of the first run group. Tim, you see right here, they're not running all the way around to the chute because of the VHT. So they're starting at the timing lights for the drag strip, and then they'll run all the way down to the end onto the back side of the road course and finish up at this corner worker stand. I believe, Mike, just one each. Oh, okay, Tim. Yeah, I always think of the chute as the transition from that long carousel turn on the back end going out to the drag strip, as always what I thought of as the chute. Well, it looks like actually they're going to get multiple runs, or either I'm not sure if it's multiple single lap runs or if they may have had a timing issue, because the first group is actually going back out right now. Yeah, Michael, the last time that we did this was in 2015 at Pueblo, and they have the same kind of layout to where the front stretch is the drag strip, and it was really pouring rain there that day, so we just did the point to point there. We got Amanda back out on track. Coming through and crossing the finish line to finish hers up, getting on the brakes. Well, Tim, with the possibility, with the possibilities of rain, most likely the low ET and the bracket drags will be scratched, so we may have time. No, Scott, that's not a Roush. I know you wanted to get a plug in for them, but sorry, not a Roush. Got run group number 2 headed out. I didn't see who it was that went out first in group 2, but we'll see who it is here in just a quick second. It's Tomo in the vet. And yes, they are going to be doing 2 runs. So here comes Todd in the GT2 RS. Mike, that is correct. They are just to avoid a lot of confusion, they are running by numbers again today. Tim, probably so. Probably so. Here comes Andy in the S2K. Oh, come on, Tim. All of your cars are just full bore GT spec race cars, we know that. Mike, hold on just a minute, because Martin is just down from me here a little bit as Tomo comes through to finish his run, gets it woed down. Todd finishing up his run. And then we got the ZL1, getting just a little bit out of shape through the twisties there, and across the line to finish up his second run. Now we got Chuck Veth in his GT2 RS. And Ross coming in to trip the lights to finish off his second run. And Andy in the S2K. Mike, Trevor had a question, and I was going to let you respond.
Okay.
He said he needs to tell you and Ross to pick up the pace.
Okay, will do. They give us more track time. You on Facebook Live or something?
Yep.
Hey guys, how you doing?
So that quickly, there's the end of the second run group. Third run group is headed out right now, out to pit lane, so they can get their 2 runs started. We got the first car from run group 3 out right now. Oh, the Bandit took a spin there, gathered it up quickly, coming around to finish up his first run. And joining us is the world famous Uncle Howard.
How you doing? Good
How are you, Howard?
Buddy? Do you think there's enough tires protecting you between there and the wall when these guys come down and forget that they got a break for this corner?
I certainly hope so.
I do too.
Here we go. We got the Mile High M3. And Melissa, glad that you're watching. Matter of fact, here comes David. And looks like Mark Thompson got off in the GTR. Followed by Mark's dad, Tom, in the Viper. Looks like some of the drivers are having just a little issues with the S's here on the backside. Have seen several cars get rather loose, and now we've had 2 offs. The first one with Bandit Turbo S, and then with Mark Thompson's GTR. Much better run from the Bandit this time. Hard on the brakes to get it woed down. Got the Mile High M3. With David Carr in the Charger right behind. And Todd Thompson in the Viper finishing up his second run. And the next run group is headed out to pit lane. This one will be led by Billy Johnson in the GT500, 2020 GT500 with the carbon package on it. Billy's trying to get some heat in the tires as he goes up pit road. Luckily, so far, we had just a few sprinkles of rain here a few minutes ago, but had nothing since then. So the track is staying dry, unless it had a few little wet patches from overnight. But other than that, the track appears to be fairly dry. Looks like they're getting ready to turn Billy loose on his lap. First of 2. Looks like we've got 6 cars in this next run group. I'm not quite sure what the delay is at the moment. they should be getting back underway here directly. You see how everybody's lining up for each of the respective run groups. One here on the back side of the road course, and then they'll shoot around out to pit in right there off of the front stretch, and they'll come all the way down pit road, and this is where they'll start. The only thing I can figure is they may have some timing issues at the moment, trying to correct.
This is the part we're most concerned about.
Yes.
Tires at the end here.
Yeah.
And Billy launching, going down the front stretch. Enter the road course section of the track.
Quick dinner, curbside dinner for the express. He's toned it down.
And Billy gets it slowed down. Finish up his first of 2 laps. And Dave Ogburn in the GT3. Billy trying to get some heat in those tires. And finishing up with the Cayenne, most likely being piloted this morning by Randy Popst. The run group is currently funneling back around to the start. Tim, you know Randy could make a paperweight go fast around this track. Billy taking off for his second run. George, why they're slowing so much is that's going to be the pit in and out. So once they hit the cones here, that is the end of the lap. So they have to get slowed down with it. Normally they have to get slowed down too. I'll show you here as Billy comes through how the course runs. So. And see, he's actually going track. He's actually off track there because it kind of almost like a little modified chicane, and that's why they're slowing up, setting up for that left-hander. David Ogburn in the GT3 RS. And the GT2 RS. Yeah, George, when Randy comes through in the Cayenne, I'll show you how they're doing it today, so you can get a better reference of it. So he's coming through and tripping the timing lights now to finish his lap. So goes there for the next little short shoot out to the back carousel to go onto the drag strip, and then they'll pit in right here. Well, normally when we run this configuration, if I remember correctly, there are actually some cones that kind of keep you going in the right direction, so you can't straight line that area as much. Yes, Tim, that is correct. The cones are 2 seconds each. And it looks like on track now, the first car in this run group is Bill Morton in the C8. Quite strange seeing him run several years in the Team Corn-Fed STI wagon, and then, well, not wagon, but, and then moving over to the C8. Followed quickly by the C7. Bill just got that car just several weeks ago, I believe, so not sure how many track days that he's had to run in that car since he got it. Looks like Big Chris had a little bit of an off and did some agricultural work. So he finishes up his lap. Yeah, it looked like there were some possible dandelions on the front grille. I also like this Porsche went off as well. And Hodges in the Killer Whale Camaro, finishing lap 1. Maybe you're right, Tim. Maybe you're right. I know that Mark Thompson in the GTR, they actually had to take a different route to Memphis last night just so they would have E85 along their route, and I believe they ended up buying about 25 gallons of cans of E85 just in case. Bill Morton on track for his second run.
Whatever it's going to do, I'm asking for not to run the second run just like Gary did.
And Bill finishes up. Oh, looks like there must have been a timing error. Brock is sending Bill back around to the, yeah, it did look like a better run, but Brock had him stop and is sending him back around to the pits. They may have had an issue with timing on the front timing loop, so looks like he's gonna have to go out and do it all over again. Yeah, apparently too good. He must have been faster than Tomo, so they're gonna make him do it again. But it's good for Bill. They gave him a full speed extra recon lap. Comes Big Chris, using all of the curbs on that corner there. He gets the car woed down. Hodge is in the killer whale. And Bill Morton coming for his finish up his second run. Well, unofficially third run. Next run group heading out. Looks like it's being led by Bucky Lasik. Jim Roberts behind him. Couldn't see which vet that was behind him. And then we've got Shout Speed, one of the Teslas, and then Victor Bell in the Panamera Hybrid to conclude that run group. And you can always tell that you're in Memphis when every 15 seconds, you get flown over by another FedEx jet going into FedEx Worldport here in Memphis. I think since we got here about an hour ago, it's probably been 50 or 60 that have come in. Bucky getting a little bit sideways there. And Jim Bob finishing run number 1. And we've got a big off, slide, half spin, gets it gathered back up. And that off really affected the shout speeds time. She had to slow down a lot to avoid the Corvette that was coming through the timing lights. And here comes Victor Bell and the Panamera. Victor moving over to the Porsche this year after a few years in his BMW diesel. We got Bucky out on his second run. Much cleaner lines for him this time. Didn't get loose through the S's there. And finishes up run number 2. Looked much quicker this time. And Jim Roberts. Very fast run for the Tesla. And Victor exiting the S's and across the line to finish his run. We are almost halfway through the field. The first two cars on the next run lap have already began their first run. Looks like the Boxster of Eric Scheimer and Tracy Ramsey on track and off track and back on track. I guess he saw a high spot in the grass that the landscapers missed that he wanted to take care of. Hopefully didn't do any damage to the splitter. Doesn't look like it, but gonna have to clean out a lot of grass there. The Michelin BMW. And the K-Swap Lotus Exige.
Down the hill to the short little S. First one. Second one. The game is bouncing around like crazy.
And the double nickel Fiesta ST coming through. Like he used up a good bit of curbs there through the S's. Yeah, Tim, they are definitely using up all of the track coming through the timing lights. You notice the super fast cars get over there to the right hand side to set up for the next corner. Looks like the Boxster is on his way for his second lap. Hopefully you have a little bit cleaner lap this time. Not sure who's driving this morning in the Boxster, if it's Eric or Tracy. Alright, keeping all four on the hard stuff this time. And through the lights. Looks like he did get the grass cleaned off of the splitter and the grill. Michelin BMW finishing up his second lap, as the Exige does the same. And the TT coming through, finishing up. And here comes the Fiesta ST, not using as much curb as he did on his first lap. Looked a lot faster through there this time. And then the Mustang GT. Really floating the car almost through there. Oh, we got another off. Can't quite see who that was that is leading. Oh, it's the one of the S2Ks. Got off there, and then second to last S. At the M4 from Baxter and Ronopah, followed by the Mark 5. No, this group is out for sorry, I had a phone call I had to answer with a text. The group is out on its second run. S2K with a much faster run this time. And Tim, I'm not sure who was driving. Yeah, I wasn't sure who was driving the S2K, and it looks like we just had engine expire. So we are got a little bit of fire. So there is definitely going to be fluid on the track. They're going to have to check that. So I think we're probably going to be in a red flag for a few minutes. We're going to have to, first off, check the track for fluids, and then we've got a little bit of a engine fire on the vet. Tim, too soon. So they're getting the car pushed off into a safe position. I'm sure that yep, we've got somebody on the track now coming down to look to see if there are any fluids that were put down on the track. I'm sure that there's probably something on the racing surface. And Brock running out to go check it out to see. Yeah, Dan, Toyota cars will be out shortly. I don't know how long we're going to be under the red flag, but shouldn't be too long. So I would probably see them out on track less than 30 minutes. Track official down there inspecting the surface, being sure that anything laid down by the vet won't affect any of the other competitors as they come out of the S's onto the little chute to finish the lap. And we've got Brock coming off of the track, so we may be getting ready to go back to open track.
going to get you guys out there for a rerun. 12, 13, 14, 15. We need a rerun.
Looks like they just announced that some of the early cars, one of the groups, are going to have to. Yep, looks like some of the early cars, numbers 12 through 15, are going to have to go out and rerun their session. Like Bill's over here enjoying a little bit of breakfast.
Hearty breakfast. Protein and oatmeal.
Protein and oatmeal. So, how are you liking the C8 over the STI?
It's a very different car. The Transits are much more enjoyable. It's a different experience from driving all-wheel drive, and it's teaching me that I have some bad habits that have come from all-wheel drive. But I really like it. It's a good experience.
So when did you pick the car up?
November.
Okay.
So I was 11th. It's Bob Brown dealership. I put a pre-order in the second or third day after it was announced. It took about a year and a half to come in.
So how much track time did you get before the event?
Not too much, since we had a pretty brutal winter in Iowa. I got one weekend at RPM in the beginning of April. Got my co-driver and I both out there, rented out the track for a day, so I got a full day of just us out there, which is probably a good 2 track days equivalent.
Good. Well, glad you're enjoying it.
Thank you. It's wonderful on the Transit. That car just about drives itself.
Now you're spoiled.
Very spoiled. Cooled seats, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you miss the corn-fed Subi?
I do miss it. There was something about that car and having built it and put in all the sweat equity and get that car where it's been. Although I don't miss having the anxiety that with having something that high-strung and that highly modified that you always are worrying about what's going to go wrong or what you need to fix or checking on everything constantly.
So what, besides tires, have you done to the C8?
So pads are Carbotech XP10s all the way around. Upgraded to the 2-piece, I think it's Giradisc rotors. Got those from Paragon Performance, and they also put in a pair of the drive shaft shop axles. Upgrade those, and some of the C8s have been breaking rear axles on launch if you get some wheel hop going on there. So just kind of strengthen up a couple of weak points, but otherwise stock.
All right. Well, thanks for telling us about the new ride.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Always a pleasure to
Yep.
be out here.
Thanks, Bill. So we do have cars back out on track now. I think this may be that, I can't tell if it's that run group that needed to rerun, but we'll see once they get around here. I don't believe it is. there's not really an unlimited class. It's 200. It's 200 minimum, and as long as the tires have been authorized by Tire Rack and they are available at Tire Rack, you can run the tires. Tire Rack does all of the technical data for the tires for the one lap. And as their title sponsor, you have to buy the tires from the Tire Rack, and they are actually branded in the sidewall that show that they are official one lap tires. That run group restaged. And the Shelby finishing up his second lap of first run, sorry. Chris Allen finishing up the second lap. Chris joined us on our transit last night from Grissom down here to Memphis, and we ran with him pretty much all night. Steve, you would be surprised. There are some tires out there that you can get for the 20s that fall in line and work pretty good. First car of the next group out on track. It looks like we're getting getting the cars of that rerun group together. I see yep, there goes the Mile High M3 behind me, and then we've got SRT Charger, David Carr. And then Mark Thompson in the GTR, and Dad Todd in the Viper. So they'll be able to rerun their run from earlier. Anthony Manganoli and his GT500. And here comes Jenna Fisher. I'm sorry, Jenna Wagner. Where did I get Fisher from? In her VW, prepped by Josh Pashis at Nothing Leaves Stock. And here comes the second of the Nothing Leaves Stock Volkswagens. Not sure who's driving this session, since they have 3 drivers. And then there's Miss Leah in the Tesla. And Fred Edelman. Well, Steve, we may do a live stream later and do a walk around of Solomon's car and get him to talk about the setup of the car and the tires. And Anthony finishing up his second lap of the first run. Jenna pedaling the VW. Looked like Josh in the car for this morning session in the second VW. And there's the Westinghouse Tesla, Mike Roberts and Leah. And there's the first of our 2 Focus RS's. And Fred Edelman. Oh, Fred almost went completely off. Got it gathered back. Looks like we got the rerun group out on track with the Mile High M3, the Charger SRT, Mark in the GTR, and Todd in the Viper. I'm gonna do their little rerun. It looks like David got a heck of a jump on the M3. Well, the M3 may have had an issue, but David pretty much walking the dog there. Todd coming across, Mark coming across in the GTR. And Todd finishing up. And right behind him, the next group is out. Got Chris Porter in the Corvette. Another one of the loud cars. It looks like the Mile High M3 got away a little bit better this time, and has a little gap between he and David Carr in the Charger. Mark finishing up his morning session. Followed by his dad, Todd, in the Viper. And here comes Chris Porter in the LS powered 944 Corvette. And the Tesla. We've already got the next run group staged. Looks like the first car out in this group is Scott Robertson in the Robertson Racing Miata. See Scott off there in the distance. Oh, Scott's off into the grass. Back on. Couldn't tell, but it almost looked like I saw a little bit of smoke out of the left rear of that car. And a Civic SI. And the second RS. WRX finishing up, and yep, apparently Scott did have an issue. Like I said, I did see some, looked like some smoke coming in from underneath, and he is going back to the pit area. And there goes Uncle Howard. Got the 964 Carrera 4. Beautiful 911. So it looks like the group that just did their rerun is going to have to do another rerun. Dan, the Supra is, looks like the next group in the queue, with the Camry and the 8.6. And we are starting to get some light drops of rain here and there, so hopefully we can get all of the all the groups run for the morning session, so everybody's on pretty much the same condition track. Civic SI out now on his second lap. WRX, and here comes Uncle Howard and bouncing the vet off the curbs as he finishes up his second lap. And the Carrera 4 completes this run group. And we've got the last official run group headed out to the track, but then we'll have to rerun that other group once again due to a timing malfunction. So we've got all three Team Toyota cars on pit road getting ready to go out. Didn't anyone ever tell you you don't get up on the
Kids
walls?
always do this, and I'm just like, I gotta see what's so fun about it. It is great. I recommend it.
You're just trying to be a rebel.
The hard part is getting up on it. The harder is probably getting off.
Got my knees like that. Let's see.
Oh yeah, parkour. Here we go. Parkour. I get a good view of the braking zone, huh?
Yep.
Anybody go too far?
Hmm?
No one went too far so far?
No, not really. All right, Dan, the Supra is on track. Here comes the 8.6 first. Most likely Justin at the wheel. Followed by Brownie in the Camry. And Kirk Barber in the GR Supra. They will shuffle back around and hit their second lap. And then after they run, we will get the rerun group to run again. And it actually looks like they're going to start back up. And do just like we did with the autocross and start it all over again. Got that last group back out on track. The two Corvettes and then Team Toyota. I think this is the Bob and Ted. Yep, the Bob and Ted's Excellent Adventure Corvette. And the little Cosworth powered 8.6. Chris and Justin. Followed by Andrew Brownfield and Stephen Byington in the Camry. And then Kirk using up a lot of that braking area in the Supra. It looks like we've got that rerun group on pit road staged, and hopefully they'll get good times this run. and won't have to go out for a fourth time, because like I said, it looks like we're getting ready to send the cars back out again. And if that's the case, they'll only have, well, cars 12 through 15, they'll only have about 10 minutes before they have to go back out on track again for their second session. I'm not really sure what the timing and scoring snafu is on these particular cars, but we will try to get that figured out and be able to let you know. We got the Mile High M3 coming through the snaky bits here. David Carr in the Charger, Mark in the GTR, followed closely by Dad in the Viper. We got Chris Porter in the 944. And the Tesla. Should be cutting the M3 loose here in just a second, as that run group has gotten back onto pit road and to stage, and indeed the M3 takes off. David Carr right behind him in the SRT Charger. Mark Thompson in the Sissio Performance Prepped GTR. And then Dad Todd Thompson in the Viper. And here comes the M3. Both the M3 and the Charger staying in the throttle until clipping those lights to get every millisecond out of the run that they could get. Yes, Steve, after each session, if you go to the One Lap webpage and go to the event, there is on the schedule, you can get to the results for each session. We don't have a live timing and scoring update, but give the guys doing timing and scoring just a few minutes, and those results for the morning session will be up. I think it usually takes them 15 to 20 minutes. Oh yeah. Thanks, Tim. So yeah, Steve, click on that link that Tim just posted in the chat, and that'll get you to the timing and scoring. And like I said, it should take, it should be up in just a few minutes. And just like that, we've got the cars starting over from Amanda Hennessy's 00 Chevrolet HHR SS. Climbing the curbs through the twisties and across the finish with the TTRS breathing down the backside of her neck. And here comes the Shaky Dog C7. And here comes Andy Hollis in the 720S. Followed closely by Tomo in the C7. And Todd Treffert in the GT2 RS. And they're going to cycle back around. So in the Shaky Dog car, it looks like Chris Lewis is driving, because I see Robert Thorne, his co-driver, standing not too far away from me. Over with Alex Moss. Everybody's back around on the pit straight. Here in just a second, Amanda will be going out to start her second lap. Yes, Reg, it is I. How are you, sir? Tim, be nice. Really stinks that you're not here this year, Reg. We miss you. Well, like I said, we missed the hell out of you and John this year. Wish you guys were here with us. That's for sure. And apparently we must have a another timing issue going on. Not sure. Looks like Amanda is actually out of her car out on pit road, so we must be in another little holding pattern. So yeah, as you can see there in the distance, the cars that have had to do multiple reruns are back in the queue to run again. It's got to be frustrating for them, you know, not having a good bit of time to let the car cool down like all the other competitors have, but just to have to keep going out and rerunning the session. So why didn't you just tuck in behind me yesterday and draft? You could have tucked right in behind that Tahoe and just sucked right up on the bumper.
Couldn't catch up.
Couldn't catch up. What time did you guys get in last night?
11.
Heavy trailer. Did you do some landscaping earlier?
Just a little lawn mowing, yeah.
Yeah, I figured you saw a high spot out there that they missed and you wanted
It needed a trim.
to take care of it.
Yeah, that guy's moving way too slow over there. Yeah.
So now we're going to have to get you one of the 4-offs landscaping service blip shift t-shirts.
That was only a 2-off landscaping maneuver, but you know,
It was close.
it was good practice.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I stuck the landing on the real one. So.
You did.
There you go. And then I started driving. We put in a year, we put like 6,000 miles.
Reg, no, because there is rain forecast. It's actually been drizzling on and off a little bit all morning. So instead of starting them off on the full lap, you know, remember the VH, they got the VHT here on the drag strip. If it had started raining halfway through, we would have had to scrap it, and all those times would have been negated, and we'd have had to start all over.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
We're working on our wing and a prayer right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it's
We're about to start our second run group for the second session now, and maybe we can squeeze in a third before the rain starts. We'll see. My guess is that the drag is going to be canceled today because that front that's coming in is pretty substantial. So here we are, and that's what's coming our way. So something wicked this way comes. And we figure it's probably going to hit just as we finish this run group. So if that's the case, we get to go to Texas.
That's right. Well, apparently they must be having some more timing issues because Amanda's group has not done their second lap yet. So, and
This is their warm up at Recon.
I kind of feel bad for these guys because they had to do 3 reruns.
So they get to learn the track. I don't feel bad for them at all. There's no sympathy. None. Not an iota.
So Billy, how was it out there the first session?
It went all right, but I have no clue what we did because there's no timing listed, so not much to know or say.
So as far as we're concerned, we were the fastest. We're just gonna go with
minds,
that.
we were the fastest.
We're gonna go with that.
Yeah.
If we say enough, it's true.
Nope, there is not. And here, I'm gonna give the camera to Solomon for a minute so you can talk to Reg.
What? Lazy. Is there not a way to run the track without running the start line on the drag strip? Nope. We cannot run the track without the drag strip because the pit lane is mighty narrow, and to get into it, you'd still be putting people in a really bad position.
No. we could do the hot lap through pit lane. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because there's lots of things here.
No, he asked, can you run it without the drag strip? And you can if you run through pit lane.
You could do lots of things.
You could. That is a solution. That's an awesome solution.
All right, we're gonna move away from Billy now. Enough of you.
Problem solving, Solomon. That's what I'm here for. We solve problems.
That's the biggest problem right now. But so they're hopefully get the timing issue fixed. There looks like they're doing another recon. So the re-reconning? Is that what you
Yeah,
do?
that's their second recon.
It's a re-recon.
Now they're getting...
Unless they needed to do the timing beam again? I don't know.
Most likely, but they're getting more laps.
Re-recon.
So that's an advantage that we're not getting.
Shooting the gap at the end of pit lane would unfairly advantage the short GTIs. So clearly, so it's an interesting day today. This is it's already an interesting one lap, and it's compounding on itself. So we can walk up to there so you can see the cars running across the line really quick. Want to do that?
I've been down here just in view of start finish, but yeah, or the finish line.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, here, because I got to finish with that.
Morning, Mr. Simon.
Good morning, Brian.
We've got the first group finishing up their lap. Amanda coming through over the finish line to finish up. We've got the TTRS. Chris Lewis and the Shaky Dog C7. And there's Tomo finishing up his lap, using up a lot of the track there. And we got Todd Treffert, the GT2 RS. We got the Callaway Supercharged ZL1. And Chuck Veth in the GT2 RS. Ross Bentley, the GT3 RS. Andy in the S2K. And Scotty Coors in the Bandit Turbo S. I think there may be a little bit more rain falling up at the top end of the road course. Noticed a couple of the cars as we came through with the wipers on. ZL1 getting ready to cross the timing stripe to finish his second session run. We got Chuck in the GT2 RS. Here comes Ross Bentley in the GT3 RS. Andy in the S2K. Scotty in the Turbo S. So it looks like they did not, well, let's see, let me look and see here. I'm trying to see the, oh, they did, okay. I was beginning to think they didn't run the 12 through 15 again, but they are out on track. Looks like we're kind of boosting up the run groups a little bit to get as many sessions in as possible. Reg, we may try to do that. If we do, I'll make sure that either Josh or Steve sends you a text to let you know that we're gonna go live in a parking lot. right. They're all going to cycle back around and lay down their time for session 2. They just said over the PA a minute or two ago that they're going to try to get a third session in, and said that we will, if it starts raining, we will continue to run in the rain until there is lightning in the area, and then they, of course, they have to shut us down. And if it's like most tracks, if there is lightning, there will be you have to have at least, I think, 45 minutes after a lightning strike. If there's not another, then you can continue. I'm not exactly sure how the rules run here at Memphis, but that's something that if we do have lightning in the area and we have to shut down, that we'll be able to quickly figure out. Oh shit. Oh, sorry. The GT2 RS just left out to go to the pits and got a little ambitious and got very, very loose. So, well, pardon the language. There's Mark in the GTR. And Todd in the Viper. Followed by Billy in the GT500. Next we got
coming at you yet?
some. David Ogren in the GT3 RS.
This is the shop. Irving in the back.
Well, Melissa, I'm sure because you probably use them at David all the time, but
So do you know, on the newer iPhones, is this just a digital zoom or so I don't know whether it uses a different lens or...
No, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yours had the camera's amazing.
Warsaw, is that lower Alabama or
I'm gonna think it...
lower Arkansas, Tim?
Right, I'm sure, yeah. Yeah, that capability was fascinating.
I know, Tim. I know. So here's the GT2 RS that gave me quite the scare when leaving the pits to go out to the pit lane. Pretty much got it 90 degrees and pointed at the outside wall, but quickly gathered it up.
That's a great shot.
That's such a pretty car.
And Bill Morton in the C8. And look who it is, kids.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Not much. Waiting for another run.
How did
James
James
stays up there.
How did James feel about the first session?
Felt good. You know, I think like everybody else, he did a good job with the reconnaissance lap, finding out where those limits were, and then didn't exceed them on the one that counted. He didn't do any grass mowing though this time. In 17, we had a nice mowed section with my Corvette, so
Yes.
we're doing better this year.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you, come on. He'll drive it more than you. You're not gonna. Well, they want him out. Yeah. But you know, right? Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, exactly. Before he wasn't sure how he was doing. Right. Right. Now he. And so
Well, I just opened up my phone and I spoiled the F1 race for me that I was going to watch later on. But for anybody that has not seen it, I will not spoil it for you. I feel so bad, and it was the top notification on my phone. And like a dummy, instead of just turning the phone back off, I read it. So, yeah. I'm the dummy. But I will say that I am happy with the result of the finish of the race, so there's that. People are getting more and more brave right there, wanting to stay on the gas as long as they can. And then most people do that and brake right before the timing light. Let's see, does Big Chris go full send? No, not quite.
No.
Giving the thumbs down. We should have like scoring boards out here and we can give them.
That breaking point was only a 3.
Yeah. The French judge would probably have hammered him with like a 2.4. And here comes Hodges in the Killer Whale Camaro. It's a shame that the more talented driver of that team is not behind the wheel. This guy here.
I want more talent. That'd be sexy.
Yeah, yeah. Reg says, you need a photo of God for those that break way late.
You're about to meet him.
Jim Bob going full send on the breaking point. Ben Shout braking quite late as well. But that car only weighs 12 pounds, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, because it'd end up being a meme fest if you did that, Tim. because I'd have my other phone out posting memes continuously. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in real quick and show you where it's at. So if you can see the cones right there, and they are right in line with that worker stand, and that's where our timing and scoring guys are at, getting the data. There we go. Phone zooms in really good, but as for zooming back out, not so much. There goes Bucky Lasik. And Jim Roberts getting the vet woed down. All right, guys, what we're going to do now is need to get this phone charged back up. It is about to die, and I need to get some water because I've been talking for about 2 hours straight, and I know you guys are tired of hearing my voice. So we'll get some charge in the phone, and we will be back shortly, probably about the time that they start the third session. So until then, this has been the 2021 Tire Rack One Lap of America presented by Grassroots Motorsports Magazine, coming to you today from Memphis Motorsports Park, Memphis International. There's about 3 different names for it, but we always enjoy coming out here, and we'll see you in a little while. Thanks.